Alright, welcome back everybody. I have another image up here for us to take a look at and practice on. I've already made a background copy, and for me I adjusted the level so that we can kind of see the road a little better here and use this for what I intend to. I'm going to go in and do Filter, Blur Gallery, and go into Tilt Shift. As you may have seen in the last video, it didn't work so well on our camper van, but this is a photography technique that they use a Tilt Shift lens that has the outside edges blurred and everything else in between that's in focus looks quite miniature. I'm a big fan of tilt shift photography. I don't do it, but I follow a couple people on Instagram that do it, and I think it's hilarious. So we're going to go ahead and practice on some of these sliders. This video won't be too long because you just need to know what moves, what doesn't move, and then you figure out what you like the best. It has the same exact wheel, or you would have a slider. To change the blur, I'm going to go all the way up again so you see where it doesn't go. So you have these pieces here that you can move up and down. Same here, same like the iris blur, right? See, it's a little gradual depending on where you put this. I'm going to go ahead and put it back to where it was, and we're going to spin this down a little bit, maybe a little bit more here. So I was thinking maybe I'll try to rotate this and get it going on that street. See if we can get all those cars in there to look miniature. But as I'm doing it, I'm not sure if that works exactly. If you've not seen a lot of tilt shift photography, I guess it doesn't look too bad. But I'm gonna just bring back my targets here and go back in the middle. It down here. So I think I didn't change much from the default option. Right, if I bring these down, I think kind of wherever it leads us in the default option, it works pretty well. Maybe I'll put these a little further away from each other. About halfway through the blur wheel, and it's working for me. I like including that little bit of tree. Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to choose a different focal point here. Maybe I will keep that too. I don't know. I like them all. I like tilt shift photography. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Just duplicate your background. Find the image that works. What might take more time for you is really finding an image that works. Again, like if you just had a human on a real close-up background, probably not going to work. So maybe pictures from far away or medium far away might work the best, and that's going to be part of the task for you to try out and see what works best. So I'm going to leave tilt shift as is, and I'm going to click over here on the left and go into, press OK there, and go into a new picture of traffic cones where I've already duplicated my background. Just like I love tilt shift photography, I also love traffic cones. So let's go in here. I'm going to spend another couple of seconds in this video to deal with the blur gallery and show you bokeh. A bokeh is when you have a shallow depth of field and everything in the foreground is in focus and everything in the background is nice and soft and creamy and out of focus, and oftentimes has shapes from light refracting through trees or lights in general, like city lights or car lights or Christmas lights. So again, part of the challenge here is if you're not shooting for this project, like you weren't shooting for tilt shift photography, you were just going to choose an image that works and you're going to use the filter to make it look like you shot it that way. So the same thing here, we're going to go in with the blur gallery. I'm going to go right to field blur so I don't have to deal with iris blur and the shapes and pieces missing. I'm going to go in here, choose a bunch of pins. I know I'm going to want this stuff in focus here. And I'm going to want this stuff out of focus here. I'm going to leave it pretty harsh in focus. It might look fake, but let's undo that one. Blur that out here. Maybe put another one in focus a little bit so that when I go into my effects bar, which may already be open for you, we're going to go into bokeh. Now again, what I like to do first is go really high up so you can see the shapes that are happening, right? There we go. And bokeh color should just add a little more color so that it's not just super bright white light. See, now you got some greens in there. And you can play around with these two sliders. You might not notice the bokeh color change unless you're going a little extreme. If you have more of the sky blocked out, you should have a little more shapes. I'm going to go pretty high up with this so that we can see the shapes. It does look a little fake to me, but I want you to really see what it's doing. Alright, so if we go ahead and press OK, might want to work on having a nice realistic spot where everything is in focus, matching where everything is out of focus. But I want you to practice that in your skills practice. You should already know from the lecture, and now this video as well, where and how to choose your bokeh, and what to do and not to do. If you have any questions, send us an email inbox, and I hope this helps.